Plant a tree. One tree will make a big difference, and especially if you get, there's a billion, how many billion of us on the planet? If each one of us planted a tree.
Y podemos fabricar vehículos eléctricos, pero también el ecosistema y ayudar al medio ambiente a través de estas acciones es muy importante para la compañía.
I'm Juan Garcia with Auto Compro, and we're here with Hank Lynch. Tell me about your organization. What do they do? You know, what is the purpose of your?
One Tree Planted exists. It started 10 years ago. It exists literally to help individuals to get involved with addressing climate issues. And the simplest way to do it is to plant trees. And we've become exceedingly successful. We're working in 70 countries around the world. We take planting partners and planting partner funders and bring them together around projects that are important to our environment, important to biodiversity, habitat reestablishment, and the local communities in where we're working. Because although our company employs about 100 individuals, if you add up all the smaller companies that we support, it's well over 10,000 people around the world that are planting trees right now, throughout, whether it's Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, Africa, North America, Mexico, Canada. It's happening all over the world, and it's taken place in 10 years. It's an amazing story. This is an environmentally protected mesa, and it's being done with the staff, volunteers from Hyundai Motor Company of America. We're partners with, and they support us. And what they're doing is preserving what was an area that had been decimated. And they've been doing it now for over 20 years. And what the staff today is doing is, I believe they're planting 1,500 trees, which is important. Trees, preserve the soil, they protect water, they provide habitat. In fact, right before we came out here, they were talking about all the wildlife that's here and warning us to watch out for rattlesnakes. But rattlesnakes are good. They're good for the environment. They were warning us about coyotes and other things that were here. And so the point is, if they hadn't started doing this 20 years ago, all these animals wouldn't be here. And if it wasn't for Hyundai Motor Company of America and their wonderful staff, I think there's 30 people here today, this wouldn't take place. It's people helping people, and all of us doing one thing that can make a big difference. And planting trees is the simplest way to do it.
Tell me a little bit more. I understand there's a bigger project in this, a broader project with Hyundai that you're doing. Why your organization decided to partnership with Hyundai, a car company? Sometimes we don't think car companies are environmentally friendly, but Hyundai has proven that it can be an environmentally friendly car company, and do these partnerships and help the planet.
It's a very good question. I think they're one of the most innovative companies in the field right now. They have electric cars. They've actually provided us with I think 3 or 4 of them to this point. They're incredible vehicles, but their commitment to the environment and understanding that manufacturing processes, using fossil fuels, are all contributing to the experience that literally all of us are having on almost a daily basis with the issues of affecting just weather. I mean, you've seen extreme cases of weather. Today, for example, it's sunny. It's supposed to be sunny California, but it's cloudy and cool, which is great. I'm enjoying it, but it's a lot different than what we're used to, and that's the norm now. And so, in order to kind of start addressing that, we have to do things. And I believe Hyundai's doing it fantastic, because they found us and they liked what we were doing. And I think to date we've planted together almost 600,000 trees, and we're scheduled this year to plant 100,000 trees in New Brunswick, Canada, 200,000 in Nova Scotia, and the one that's near and dear to my heart is they're planting about 500,000 trees down in Mexico to support the habitat for monarch butterflies. And monarch butterflies are one of those insects, but they're almost, to kind of put it in perspective from my experience, they're almost the canary in the coal mine.
That's right.
if you think about it, they are really, first of all, their life cycle is incredible. They literally will be in North America, and then they all come back to a very centralized area in Mexico to overwinter. And then they breed, they lay their eggs, and then they start the whole process again. But in the process of doing that, I mean, traveling thousands of miles, they are a pollinator. And pollinators are absolutely, without pollinators, we as humans cannot exist on this planet.
Correct.
And on top of that, they need special plants where they lay their eggs. What's most recently, and I think most frightening, is the survey that was recently done to determine how many monarch butterflies exist. They monitored them for this past winter, and the count was down 60% from the previous year. And a lot of that had to do with heavy and really extreme weather circumstances they included as they were flying, they encountered as they were flying across Texas. But a lot of it has to do with urban sprawl. It has to do with the fact that the plants that they feed on, the nectar they get from to get nourishment, is further and further between because they're building more and more things. And then the plants in which they can lay their eggs are specific, and that's going away. But also very, very significantly, and what Hyundai is helping us do, is the plants where the trees where they overwinter have been being cut down. They're being cut down on mountainsides for subsistence farming, and they're being cut down for logging. So the commitment that the company's made to plant 500,000 trees to help support monarch butterflies is really, really important.
I think you mentioned something important that we want people to understand. You mentioned 3 countries, you know, Canada, United States, Mexico. We're all in this together, isn't it? It's not about one country, because
No.
the efforts of one country will not make a greater impact if we don't engage the whole world, actually. And you told me your organization is actually in several countries.
We're not the only one, but yes, and we're all in this together. And we have partner organizations that do similar things to what we're doing. But currently, right now, we're operating in 70 countries around the world on multiple projects. And there's others like us that are doing the same. And when you start to look at the challenge that we're all trying to accomplish, as opposed to, you know, what's best for our own individual company or what's best for one individual, you can accomplish an incredible amount of things. And planting one tree, I mean, it's a simple thing, really. All of us can plant one tree. That's really it's one of the things that's going to change what's going on on our planet. We, one of the things we like to say in our company, instead of saying we're here to protect Mother Earth, Earth is just going to be fine. We're here to save our home. This is the home for all of us. And so what we're looking at is, what is it that each of us would do if our home was in danger? And one of the things we can encourage everyone to do is get involved in planting trees. And we're so grateful to Hyundai and all the funding they're giving us, all the support they're giving us, and the commitment they have made to plant trees for us all over America, Canada, and Mexico today.
We're going to go plant some trees and some plants, but anything you want to add? Thanks for talking to us. You know, anything you want to, any message that you want to leave us with today, you know, about what we're doing, what you do, and the future.
Plant a tree. One tree will make a big difference, and especially if you get, there's a billion, how many billion of us on the planet? If each one of us planted a tree, it would help solve the problem dramatically. So plant a tree.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Aquí con Mariana García de Hyundai. Mariana, platícanos, ¿qué estamos haciendo hoy aquí en Huntington Beach, California?
Hoy en Huntington Beach estoy muy orgullosa de estar aquí con One Tree Planted y estamos sembrando árboles y plantas para ayudar al ecosistema.
¿Cómo te sientes de ser parte de Hyundai y hacer este tipo de cosas, ¿no?, que nos ayudan al planeta, ¿no?, a que nuestro aire sea más puro?
Pues estoy muy orgullosa, ¿verdad? Porque esta empresa tiene oportunidad de ayudar y asistir el globo mundial, ¿verdad? En estos tipos de proyectos que son muy importantes. O sea que la compañía no nomás quiere ayudar a hacer vehículos eléctricos, y híbridos y otros tipos de vehículos, pero también tiene interés en ayudar al mundo para las generaciones que vienen.
Estábamos platicando con la persona que dirige One Tree y nos hablaba de que Hyundai no nomás estamos aquí en Hyundai haciendo esto, pero tiene proyectos en toda Norteamérica, ¿no? Es un proyecto global esto, ¿no? De plantar árboles y de hacer un mejor planeta, ¿no?
Sí, es bastante grande. Aquí en Norteamérica estamos sembrando 300,000 árboles este año y en total desde 2022 estamos sembrando 650,000 árboles, o sea que sí es grande lo que estamos haciendo aquí en Norteamérica y One Tree Planted se encuentra en todas partes del mundo, pero yo trabajo aquí, o sea que estoy
incluyendo
trabajando.
proyectos en nuestro México, ¿no?
Sí.
Con la mariposa monarca, nos decía el señor que pues están plantando árboles en Michoacán para ayudar a que la mariposa se polinice, ¿no? Para que realice el polen, y eso es muy importante, y que Hyundai está también detrás de todo esto. Qué importante es eso, ¿no?
Pues muy importante, como te digo, Juan, es una de las cosas más importantes para la compañía, estar juntos con estos tipos de asociaciones que tienen interés en ayudar a las generaciones, a ayudar el medio ambiente y luchar contra el cambio del clima, porque como usted sabe, ese es un problema que tenemos hoy, es muy crítico, ¿verdad? Y tenemos que cambiar eso. Y Hyundai está aquí con One Tree Planted para ayudar en esa dirección.
Y no solamente son los vehículos eléctricos, ¿no? Tenemos que hacer el plan completo, ¿no? El plan global, porque los vehículos eléctricos está bien y todo, pero necesitamos plantar más arbolitos para probablemente cambiar el planeta, ¿no? O frenar el cambio climático.
Sí, y creemos mucho en eso. O sea que la visión de la compañía es progreso por la humanidad. Y eso es la cosa que nos sigue y directa nuestras acciones en este mundo. Y podemos fabricar vehículos eléctricos, pero también el ecosistema y ayudar al medio ambiente a través de estas acciones es muy importante para la compañía.
Bueno, vamos a plantar unos arbolitos antes de irnos.
Sí, aquí estamos para hacer eso,
Muchas
usted y yo.
gracias. Gracias, perfecto, gracias.
Gracias, Juan.